is going on, everybody? This is the PWZ podcast. I am Rick Del Santo, and joining me this week, as always, Showtime Marcel Williams. What's going on?
What is going on? It's September 29th. We are here to review a week of wrestling. Very exciting week. Last week we had a big Grand Slam, both Rampage and Dynamite. And Raw continues to improve and show their new pattern going forward. And Smackdown had the most invested promo and segment in all of wrestling right now.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed Smackdown. So it was a lot of fun, I thought.
Yeah, SmackDown was real good.
The matches announced for Extreme Rules with the Brawling Brutes and the Imperium. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I could. That's gonna be a stiff match. Stiff.
Yes, I thought that match. Well, I mean, obviously we'll get into the whole entire card and break it down as I bring up my notes for that. But yeah. So let's talk a little bit of Rampage. We don't have to talk the whole episode. I didn't think that it was a very good episode. Just my opinion. However, what about the appearance of the Great Muta?
Yeah, that was shocking and very historic. Great Muta staying in the same ring. I mean, I would say they haven't been in the ring together since 1989, maybe 1992 or 91. But
I think it was a little bit after that.
It was way after that. It was during the dying days of WCW.
That's correct. Yeah. Okay. Now I found out that it came out, I think, either later that night or the next day that Sting is going to be part of the Great Muta's final tour, his retirement tour, I guess, in 2023. So that should be, I mean, I know they're both aged gentlemen, but I have a feeling that could be a lot of fun for us old timers, you know?
Yeah, definitely a throwback. And see Sting and Muta together again. You know, they had their match against the Steiner brothers in New Japan, which is another classic. Yeah. Another classic. So this is going to be a interesting tour for the finale of the Great Muta.
You think that at that time period, now I know I'm getting off track, that WCW was ahead of the curve doing things with New Japan, bringing New Japan and into the United States quite often. They had people from New Japan on their television. They even brought the women in and all such things. Great talent, Hiroshi Hase, Kensuke Susaki, Muta, Chono, all these guys. They would bring those in on the regular back in the day. That was a lot of fun to see. Who knew, 30 years later, that would actually end up being the norm.
Yeah, that was a very big deal. It was a real eye-opener back in the 1990s where you seen a different style of wrestling in Japan and seeing our stars face their stars and being exposed to the Great Muta. We got exposed to the Great Muta way before they did a Super Show. But
he did a tour in Florida, too. I'm sorry to cut you off. He wrestled in Florida for a little bit. Jesus, I'm trying to remember where. I just know that he did some Florida NWA territory prior to coming over to WCW, Jim Crockett Promotions.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That was my exposure to him through the 80s, the 89s. Him feuding with him.
And, same thing. I read about it later, years later. So yeah. So where would you? Also, let's talk about the. Julia Hart damn near killing herself, taking that bump. Man.
That was a very scary bump, and
yes, it was.
The table only looked only had a little bit of damage, a little bit.
She took
her butt did the damage.
Cut the center, and she nicked it right. It took out the center of the table, basically, or the corner, and she just fell right into the concrete. Supposedly, she's fine. I had to rewind it and watch in slow-mo because I thought she hit the barricade, And if she
Mm-mm.
hit that like neck first, I mean, that could have been way worse for her.
It would have been real bad, but I'm glad she's okay. That was a scary bump, and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes tables don't need to be used. I know. We had these tables. It's in with Ray Phoenix almost breaking his arm, which looked good, disgusting on TV. But he
Yeah,
ended
that
up
was
being
bad.
lucky with a dislocation only. But certain tables don't need to be used on the show. I mean, you'd be lucky just to have one table bump. I'll take none.
Yeah.
It gotta be special.
It's got to be special. It's used. You gotta see, like, you'd think that both the E and the AEW, they invest in the table companies because there's so many on each and every episode. Well, I mean, WWE's are like the same. It's usually the announcer's breakaway table, for the
Yeah,
most part.
the table company are making a lot of money off professional wrestling.
Yeah, they're probably back in the day weren't making much off these buffet tables, and all of a sudden, like 1996 comes, it's like, what the hell is happening here?
Hey, listen, you could thank ECW for that. You could thank the Attitude Era for that.
Yeah. Let's see. So, is there anything else on Rampage that you care to talk about? I didn't
Nah, the
particularly.
big deal. The big deal was the Great Muta making his AEW debut, and obviously Ricky Starks got his victory and main event at Rampage, which was a very good deal for him. Um, then also, I would say match of the night: Ray Phoenix versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That was
Yes.
a very good match. Lot of cardio, but very good match.
Phoenix is a phenomenal performer, but it's great to see that Jungle Boy Jack Perry is coming into his own as a singles wrestler and out
Yes.
leaving the tag team scene, and he's improving greatly as that singles star.
Yeah, he is, and it's a process, and he's making real progress with the process, and I'm looking forward to see Jungle Boy singles career after the Christian program.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to see where it goes down the road. Let's see. You want us to move over to SmackDown?
Yeah, well, SmackDown was a very enjoyable event.
I thought so.
Especially with what we gonna talk about with the segment with Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. But it's 2 hours. You can't go wrong with 2 hours.
This felt like pleasantly placed 2 hours. I know that
Yes.
sometimes we sit here and say 2 hours is too much. Well, 3 hours is too much. An hour is just enough for certain shows.
Hmm.
This, I mean, I'm not saying that every single segment was great, but it seemed like everything was perfectly placed, and it was not one of those things where it was like, "Fuck, I'm turning this television off." Like, and we've had those moments several times.
There's been
And
many times, yes, there's been many times that we be like, we hit a power button and we be like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I can't take this anymore. And it hasn't been like that lately. It has not been like that at all. So I we not off topic here, but Paul Levesque is doing a good job with WWE right now, and as we segue to Raw in a few moments, it's hard to book a 3 hour show. No
mhm.
matter how good, no matter how good you a booker, no more. They want the money. The third hour is money, and but it's real hard to book a 3 hour show. But 2 hour show, you could work with that. You can work with that.
He's got to keep it interesting for that 3 hours. He's got to keep the storylines going for three
Yes.
hours from week to week. How to keep people such as you or I interested to make that say, "Hey, it's 8 o'clock. I need to turn on USA" or some such thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Not to mention other sports that are coming into play, like football season now. They all obviously losing viewers because of football, and there will be other such um, sports that play into that as well, such as hockey and basketball and such. As time goes on,
Yes, that's it, it does. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
So, I mean, if you think about it, back in what 1999, 2000, all those sports were losing ratings to the WWE when wrestling was hot, and that's a hard thing to think about when those sports ruled the world. So we
Yeah.
started off with the Bloodline coming to the ring. They're talking their shit. They want to give Sami Zayn, or Jimmy wants to give Sami Zayn a hard time. Excuse me, it's Jimmy, right? Yes, that's the one
Yeah.
that does not like him.
Nah, Jay Uso doesn't like him.
Am I confusing the two? Okay, so he rips his shirt off, his Bloodline shirt off. Roman says he does not want to see him wearing that ever again. He gives him a new shirt, an honorary Us shirt. I thought that this was perfectly played out.
It was. I loved how Sami Zayn looked like he had his heart broken when he lost the shirt,
Yes.
and looked like had the puppy dog eyes, like they was about to destroy him. And then Roman Reigns pull out his shirt and say he has it for him. And
Yep.
the look on Jey Uso's face was priceless because I kind of feel like he can't wait to destroy Sami Zayn. And once this all come together, um, I think Sami Zayn is going to get destroyed, but I hope they milk it as long as they can. It's so much material going forward with this.
There's a lot of potential. It can end up being a really hot feud in the end when they do deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan defeated Lacey Evans in a non-title match, 8 minutes.
What do you thought of this match? I thought it was
Not the world's biggest. We just went over saying that SmackDown was a very good show. But let's just say I'm not the world's biggest Lacey Evans fan or Liv Morgan fan, but this was all right. Nothing crazy.
You mess with it. You mess with it.
I mean, I wouldn't say, hey, I got to go back and watch that match because, like it's not Flair and Steamboat. So I wouldn't be going crazy 20 years later to go find this match.
True.
So
it's not a Peacock WWE Network searchable match.
Exactly. Nobody's going to be doing that. It's going to be one of those matches that it's just there. I guess you could say it was perfectly placed. It fit the storyline that's currently going on with Liv Morgan, and that's it. That's it. Like it just fit that as to what's going on. And we'll
what
see.
do you think about Liv Morgan title reign?
I think that she's been there quite some time, huh? She's been there quite a few years, and
been there for
this
a
is her
while.
first. Yeah, this is her first title reign. I think it's deserved, her title reign. They treated her like a preliminary talent for a very, very long time, but she's there. You know what I mean? I guess it's one of those. I don't know. Is it one of those sympathy reigns kind of a thing? Say, hey, you've been here long enough. Here you go.
It could be, but I mean, it was one of those title reigns that I see right now that everybody wanted, but then when it happened, it was like, oh, I don't think we wanted this.
Yeah,
I
get what you're saying.
Like we wanted it back to the Becky Lynch, rivalry that
Ronda
they had,
Rousey.
and not the Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan rivalry. She said it like these fans are kind of fickle. They want Liv Morgan title reign, but when they get it, they go turn right on her just like they did to everybody else. So we're fast forwarding to right now, and that's where we at.
Yeah, I don't think it's delivering. It's delivering to one fan that hasn't tuned in a while. But, so that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really nothing special. I mean, I think I initially thought it was just going to end up being a transitional thing or a temporary thing, maybe like a 1 month reign or something like that.
I think it's still a transitional reign. I think they just milking it as much as they can. Ronda Rousey gonna end up getting it back. I can see her getting it back. It'd be a shocker if she don't get it back at Extreme Rules, as we talk about that a few minutes later.
All right, so we should talk about the backstage segment with it was Hit Row, Street Profits, and Shinsuke were all hanging around backstage and elsewhere. Sami Zayn told an employee that he should be able to get a vegan meal now that he's an honorary Oos. I think that this guy he's gold, comedic gold. He really is.
Anything they give to him, he's knocks it out the park.
He's one of those guys that could deliver every single time. It could be steaming pile of shit. He'll turn it into gold. Like literally. I think he's that good.
Hey, listen, for him to make Johnny Knoxville look good, he's A-okay.
There you go. Let's see. Madcap Moss and Ricochet approached him and asked what happened to him. They said he's obnoxious and unbearable, which was true before, but now it's worse. Moss accused Zayn of having his head up Reigns' ass. Basically.
Yeah, it's the truth though, but you know.
Yes. I mean,
Sami Zayn ain't stupid.
Well, his best friend's on the other show, so they don't get to see each other often.
No, he doesn't. But now he got a new best friend, friends, and
Friends.
you know, Sony Sokola is. I probably messed up his name.
Sokoa. I'm staring at
Sokoa.
it.
Sokoa is his right hand man now. So, but I kind of think that he's kind of watching Sami Zayn, make sure he don't mess up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Sokoa suddenly attacked Moss and Ricochet, shoving them into the garage door, and Sami Zayn pulled them off. Zayn also said he was just about to do that before Sokoa showed up. Like I said, gold. There's very few that can deliver this way. Like
Absolutely.
Sami Zayn can. Let's see. Ooh, went past my notes. Went past the notes. Hang on one second. The match. It is all right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeated Maximum Male Models. I've seen Dupree and Max Dupree. 2 minutes. I nodded off on this one. Sorry, guys. Literally, I did not even see this one. Sorry.
Nah, I respect it. The Maximum Male Models is not clicking right now, but I'll give you a pros of this situation. So basically, WWE need tag teams, and
This is not
Maximum Male Models is not one. But if you need a body, that's it. We'll use Maximum Male Models. Just like we got Hit Row, we got all these other teams that's forming or getting together. I'll take it.
Okay.
Match
You
was
can
what it was. I would, like I said, it's not a Peacock WWE Network search.
Right.
That's gonna be my new thing now.
That's a good line. I get that. Yes. I don't get I love Eli Drake, LA Knight, whatever the fuck his name is. And I don't know what's his name. Dupree now.
LA
Max
Knight.
Dupree?
Well,
LA
Max
Knight.
Dupree.
Max
But
Dupree.
I think he's gonna segue to LA Knight soon.
You think he's going to come back, bring that gimmick back? I hope so. Oh, I can't stand the promos where
they're whispering
splashing
in
water. Yeah. Oh my god, they're just terrible. Oh my goodness, it's embarrassing. That's one of those segments. I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and I'm like, there's times where I sit there and I'm like, nah, I'm watching wrestling with my wife, and they always defend it. And of course, the moment that she comes in and sits down, it's a scene like that pops up. That's just like, never mind, I quit.
It always works out that way.
Exactly. It's something that's terribly embarrassing, and that it's always something like that. We had Braun Strowman defeating Otis in just about 5 minutes. It is what it is.
It was a match to get Strowman over.
Yes.
Otis still looked good in this match, and I enjoyed it for what it was. You don't need two big men to go in there and do a 15-minute classic. 5 minutes is good enough for me.
Yeah. Of course, then there's the Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett segment. They end up getting
that didn't work out correctly, did it?
The fireball?
Yeah.
No, it was like 8 inches away from his face. It was like
fireball want to do the job.
So then he had to come up. Cross, I think, let's see, salvaged it by hitting him in the balls and then whipping him. Now we're going to get let's see what a strap match.
Strap match. Yep.
Which I thought they should have had Karrion Kross literally come in and kind of destroy him, because I thought that when Drew was fighting back, like he had him down for like a good portion of this. It wasn't showing Kross strong enough, in my opinion. If he came in and absolutely obliterated McIntyre, but I guess you don't want to make McIntyre look entirely weak because he's one of the biggest stars that they have.
Yeah, right now he is one of the top baby faces.
Yeah, so I'm sure they're going to, at some point, put the belt back on him. At some point, God knows when, but I have a feeling it's going to happen.
Oh, Drew McIntyre?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when it will happen.
Be a while. I think it's going to be a while.
Well, there's also rumors that they're going to separate the two titles, but I don't think
that's the only way that will happen. Yeah, that's the only way.
I mean, I don't think that there's a reason to separate the two titles. Just make it one title. Start carrying one title around. They don't need the Universal part to be a part of it. It's such a dumb name, a bad name. I mean, WWE only had one championship for God knows how long.
Right? Yes, they have. They have.
You can tell me when I'm wrong.
But the brand split messed it up, so
Yeah, but the brand split is pretty much over. Pretty much, not entirely.
Pretty much, but they still got a draft coming up soon, so we shall see if Triple H is going to do it right.
He should just come out at the beginning of the draft and say, "Guess what? Fuck off, everybody's." I mean, I get it. They're trying to treat it like it, but it's like they don't do it right every year that they do it. It's like in the draft. I mean, the draft doesn't count to begin with. It does, but it doesn't, because it's like people are bouncing back and forth. There's always remember, was it 2 years ago they decided that there was a wild card that can go back and forth, which made no sense. In 20 years, that's all of a sudden.
And if they go over 3 crossovers, they can't cross over for the rest of the year and all that stuff.
Yeah. That didn't last. Yeah. Bad idea. I have a feeling though that I don't like I never liked the brand split. I always thought it was just crazy. Just keep everybody, because it doesn't add enough variety to the shows.
It was all about opportunity for the brand split. There's certain people that wouldn't have got a championship reign if it wasn't happening. It can be done right. I remember one time it did get done right where it was rare to have somebody crossover, and that only lasted for like almost a year, and then after that they scrapped it. So if it's done right, you can't do a brand extension, but it's only been done right for a cup of coffee, and then all of a sudden they give up.
Treat it like it's a territory system in a way, kind of have, like, my opinion, similar to just having one world champion and him traveling back and forth, similar to like the territories. And have him travel to NXT as well, whoever, you know what I mean? I think that you can make that work. You literally can make that work, but I don't think that they see that picture.
Yeah, I mean, the best, like I said, the best time was Blanche split was when Paul Heyman was doing the Smackdown 6, and then you had Raw with Eric Bischoff, and it was really split around that time. You really didn't have no stars jump around like that.
Yeah.
So then after that, it just went all down the drain after that. Then we started doing crossover after crossover.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous there. So, all right, I guess we should get into Monday Night Raw. Is there anything else from the
Night
weekend?
Raw?
Anything that happened over the weekend that you know about? Let me just tell you that I did not watch wrestling for the entire weekend. Call me crazy. Guess not.
You didn't watch that for the rest of the weekend?
No.
You didn't watch anything?
No. I didn't. I did not turn the television on. Well, I mean, I watched movies, but I didn't watch. I was homesick. I said, F this. I didn't even go to your show on Sunday. No offense. Nothing to do with you, but.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go anywhere. I just, I was there, but.
Yeah.
Just
next time.
Next time.
next time.
Maybe.
I was, I just didn't. I said, you know what? I'm taking a break. I'm going to wait until Monday to watch Monday Night Raw, and that's it. That's it.
So what did you think about Raw?
I liked it. Thought it was very good. Very good. There's still some segments that, like you said earlier in the show, booking a 3-hour show is damn near impossible. It's
Yeah,
not
it
like
really is.
it's for television. It's not like he's a booker that's booking house shows, like 3-hour house shows that has to play everything out. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
completely different. So it's just not the same as it used to be.
Nah, it's not. I don't know, man. It's a big difference. When I look back at the Nitros when it was 3 hours every Monday, I mean, it wasn't dragging like that. I mean, maybe I was younger and I was motivated
We
to
were
watch.
younger.
Yeah, maybe we was young and we was like, oh, sit here waiting for every segment possible. But now we watch Raw for 3 hours. I'm like, damn, like, and even though you have good matches on there every week now, like you have 4 or 5 good 15-minute matches, 12-minute matches, and it still be dragging.
Yeah, there's just a lot of filler in between those matches. Writing those in between skits, promos, interviews, all that stuff, it needs to be freshened up a bit. It's hard to do all those.
Yeah, some of the promos are different now, though. I mean, it's way different with the promos. It seems like it's more oomph in it instead of just like flowing along. So I enjoy that more. The Dexter Loomis and the Miz stuff. I mean, it's entertaining to a certain extent, but then after a while, you like, okay,
All right. To me, that is the comedic value in a show, and I'm not usually a comedic value person when watching wrestling. I think you know that, but there's something about Dexter Loomis that just does make me chuckle.
yeah, it does.
So I know you don't always find it that funny, but I think it's the facial expression or the lack thereof facial expressions is just blank stare that gets me. And obviously, the Miz is a hard guy to watch sometimes as he's getting older. Not that
Yeah,
he's even getting old, but it's the same thing over and over. So it's kind of you know.
yeah, as I understand.
So Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa entered the start of the show, and Belair wanted to defend her title against Bayley right now, right then and there.
Fresh out the gate.
Yep. But she knew that Bayley wouldn't come alone, and Belair wished her luck at Extreme Rules because Asuka and Bliss would ensure that she got Bayley to herself. And then Damage Control entered the arena.
Yeah, we had Bailey and the Bianca segment here where they was setting up for the Extreme Rules match, but Bianca wanted to start early, and that was going to happen on Bailey. So now we have a ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. But before we get there, we
A
gonna
gimmick
have
match, a gimmick match before any kind of match.
well, just to be real,
It is Extreme Rules, but
it is Extreme Rules, and then not only that, they still got to continue their feud because when their feud was happening, Bailey did get injured,
yes,
so they do have an excuse for this ladder match.
I'll let you slide with that one. He went to the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, defeating Io Sky. 18 minutes worth of wrestling on this match. I didn't
Yes,
tell you how much of that I love these two lady wrestlers. I thought this was a very, very good match. I didn't find it too boring. Not like Liv Morgan and Lacey Evans. Sorry to
yeah,
take a jab.
and at least they have more time, but they
Yes.
know who to give time to, and that makes sense. Yeah, man. Bianca is on a roll. She's still. I kind of feel like she's on that that threshold of being like one of the top stars, which she does have the championship, but she's the one to rely on basically. Um, what's your thoughts?
I think Bianca's amazing. I think she's doing a fantastic job. Um, in ring, she's awesome. She's really, really good. I think her promos are just next level. Very, very good. They're very convincing. They're not just over the top, I guess. They're very to the point and very good.
They're not over the top, but there's certain times that she do annoy me sometimes because when something happened to her, when something happened to her, she
She's just
basically she's so calm.
Yeah.
She's like trying to smile and stuff. Nah, this woman just beat your ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you sitting there trying to make jokes. It's that John Cena thing where he lost championship and you want to come out and make jokes. Like, nah. I lost championship. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I get you there. I'll give you that one. We had the Seth Rollins promo. Seth said he should be U.S. champion, but the only reason he wasn't was because Matt Riddle. Rollins mentioned their upcoming Fight Pit match, which led to a bro that was eventually drowned out by people humming or singing Rollins' theme song. I've never seen, I mean, I guess I have, but somebody that's supposed to be one of the dirtiest heels in the business get cheered so much. I mean, unless you're Ric Flair, but that's a whole different story. You see this? Like, this guy was getting cheered galore throughout the entire arena.
Yeah, he was. Seth Rollins is. I never said it on here, but I kind of feel like he's the modern day Macho Man. The only reason I say that because he does wear the colorful getup because he's a small guy and he tries to stand out with his promos, with his laughing and all the stuff he needs to do. And I watched the documentary of Macho Man and how he wore all these glitzy things just to stand out because he was a small guy.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of think Seth Rollins kind of caught that that spark and decided to change everything up. And he's very entertaining. I like it.
Very long
Some people don't like it. Some people can't stand it. I listen to other podcasts and they can't stand it.
Well, I was just about to say, for a very long time, when he was being pushed as the top baby face with the championship, it wasn't very convincing enough because he would back down a lot, it seemed, especially when he was backing down against the Fiend. He would act scared, and I think that ruined his character.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for, what, a year or so since, was it maybe 2 years since that feud, he just annoyed the hell out of me. But I think that it's finally, over the last couple months, finally starting to come around again. I'm starting to come around again on him. Like, you know, I thought, like, with his matches with Cody, I think that he's just not annoying me as much as he was prior. I think he's actually delivering some of his best work. His get-ups are a little crazy, flashy, like you said, a la Macho Man Randy Savage. So, yeah, I'm with it now. I'm with the Seth Rollins. Or Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. They get annoying after a while. They say it 30 times per second.
There's no, everybody's got to say it over and over.
I know Brian Saxon. I called him a little bit. He was like Seth Rollins one, and I think last Monday he said he finally said Seth Rollins. He was like, I ain't saying no freaking. I feel him.
It's Seth Rollins. Let's get serious.
It's Seth Rollins. Okay, if you want to say to do Seth freaking Rollins for the merch, I understand it, but you don't have to say it every 5 minutes.
Even when he's cutting the promo, he's letting everybody know he's Seth freaking Rollins.
Exactly.
The announcers don't got to say it over and over. Come on now.
Like, it's ridiculous.
That's the whole WWE mantra, I guess you could say.
I know, but I was hoping that would change because I think if I'm sitting there in Gorilla, I would be like, listen, like, we get it. It's Seth freaking Rollins. We get it.
Yeah. I know. We heard you the first 8,000 times.
There we go.
This led into
the new Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, they kept saying it over. Yeah, but it wasn't new anymore. It was very
exactly
old.
After 4 months. Like,
yeah, There you go. This led to Seth Rollins taking on Rey Mysterio in just under 18 minutes. I thought this was a very, very good match. Dominic came out with a chair. He sat ringside staring, intimidating his father, Rey. Rey got thrown to the outside. Go ahead.
What you thought about Rey Mysterio son receiving the chance of "You are worthless"?
Wow. I could not believe it. I mean, I guess I could. Obviously, it's wrestling. These are wrestling fans. It's very entertaining. I couldn't believe it. And it took over the show. I mean, not like took over the show, but it was very good. It really, really added to the angle, I think. Just personal opinion. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It really did add to the show. It was different.
Yeah, it was. But of course, Mysterio got thrown out to the outside of the ring, and Dominic grabbed the chair and stood over him, was about to hit him, or just intimidating his father. And here comes Rhea Ripley jumping the barricade, attacks him, and threw in his face after the match.
Yeah, we continue this father-son thing. And I guess, I mean, I don't know if they could push it all the way that long, but you may have a first ever father versus son. No, I take that back because you had Vince and Shane. I take that back. You'll have another father versus son match between Rey Mysterio and Dominic.
In WWE, second ever. There was I believe the Carinos wrestled each other on the Indies, Steve and Colby.
Yeah, but in the WWE bubble.
It's not WWE. Yeah.
It's not.
We're talking. Yes, sir. And Flair and the two Flairs, Flair, Rick and David. But that
was in
that was a shit show. Never mind. That was a shit show. Never mind.
That was so terrible.
Oh God, yes, it was. So, yeah, and then of course Rey was thrown back in the ring. Seth delivers the curb stomp and takes the victory.
Yeah, he took the victory after the curb stomp. He put on a submission hold, and just to show the preview to Matt Riddle to let him know that he knows submissions too for this fight pit match.
What was that? Hang on, let me find it over here. What was the name of the maneuver again? The blah blah blah.
I forgot what it was.
Something necktie.
Yes.
Which I thought was quite the entertaining name.
It was very entertaining. It was very different. And it made sense to do that finish that way instead of doing a curb stomp. This dude is about to go into a fight pit match. So why wouldn't he do this maneuver to show that he knows his stuff?
You excited for the fight pit?
Absolutely. I enjoyed the last few that NXT did. So I look forward to this being on the main roster, as we talked about a week ago about War Games making his debut on the main roster with Survivor Series. So there's a lot of NXT classics coming to the main roster.
Hunter's influence is definitely, slowly making its influence on the main roster. I'm enjoying it. So, all right. So we had Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano defeating the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, this match was good.
Yeah.
This match was good. Great tag team match. These matches, man, they racking up on Raw, You got 3 hours. Why wouldn't you not do it? That's what we're here for. 3 hours of wrestling. And we've been getting good 15, 12-minute matches, sometimes 18 minutes. And this was a good tag team match as we keep the momentum going with Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano. Even that little falsie that we thought maybe Johnny Gargano may get the pin from the distraction from Austin Theory, but that didn't happen. A great falsie. But the formerly known as Panda Express come out with the victory.
The Panda Express. So there's a 1-2 handicap match with almost Christ versus two local guys.
Yeah, we go past on this.
All right. It was just it was a minute and a half. It doesn't matter. All right.
I think they built it almost to face Strowman just to squash Almost. I can see that happening.
Candice LeRae. Just freaking skipped it like an idiot. Candice LeRae defeated Nikki ASH. Excuse me. Let's see. After the match, Nikki ripped her mask off and threw it down. Is this the getting rid of the almost a superhero gimmick?
Please do. It needs to end right now. It should have never happened. I appreciate Nikki Cross coming up with the ideal of this gimmick just to get on TV. I respect it, but it's not for her. It's over.
Do you think that next week, the week after, whatever, Nikki Cross will return to Monday Night Raw? I think that Nikki Cross is
I can
awesome.
see
I
that
love
happen.
her. Yeah, I love her. I think she's awesome. I didn't like necessarily. I mean, I guess it fit perfectly at the time, but she was, Alexa Bliss's sidekick or lackey, for better term.
Yeah.
But I think she's very, very talented young lady. She's really, really good. But once she made that main roster, it's like she didn't really do much.
Nah, she didn't. They didn't know how to use her, but hopefully now they know how to use her after she took that mask off.
Yeah, yeah. From there, we went to Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, defeating AJ Styles.
It's a very good match. 20 minutes. 20 minutes of great wrestling.
Well, these two are. I mean, Sami Zayn is a fantastic worker. You just don't get to see it because he's always in a character or a comedic gimmick, so he doesn't go out there and wrestle, so to speak. He's always in that comedic gimmick. But AJ Styles, obviously, one of the best in the world. So that's it. You're going to have a great match once you put these two together, and they went 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then after that, what do you think of the tease of Finn Balor trying to recruit AJ Styles?
He tried that last week as well. He tried to really recruit him last week. AJ was like, nah, I got a family, yada, yada. This is AJ's last run, I think, from what I understand. I don't think he's going to be doing much. So I don't think
it looked like it. I mean, the way he's working right now, I mean, he's working still good. It just, you could tell, like, it's some reason,
yeah.
it's like they got him on a losing streak, but losing, I mean, to me, him losing ain't killing him none, but still,
Right.
kind of feel like he should be doing more things. But if he's winding it down, I understand it.
I'd be really surprised if he did join Judgment Day. My personal opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. From what I read earlier today, they got the WWE's in big plans for Finn Balor as a singles run. So coming up. So we're going to have to stay tuned. Details were not necessarily released, but just that there was big plans for him in the near future as a single star. So we'll have to see what happens, whether it's him and AJ or what. So we'll
I mean, I'm down for a singles run, but I kind of feel like him and Damian Priest got great chemistry as a tag team.
I think they're a very good tag team, and it's helping Damian Priest because for a while, what really was he doing outside of teaming with Bad Bunny for a little while? Like he was just kind of, and that's not a knock on him or Bad Bunny. It's just that he was just kind of lingering after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was.
He was just kind of there. So teaming him with or putting the Judgment Day together kind of helped him. It boosted him a lot, and he has so much potential to be a major, major star for WWE. He can be a top guy. Yeah.
Yes, and I see Damian Priest as well, going up the ranks as well. And Rhea Ripley, has been top notch with this whole angle. So I see Judgment Day now making a huge impact on the Raw brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had Riddle and Damian Priest, which went just about 20 minutes as well.
This was a good match. These two trained together at the Monster Factory.
Yeah.
And what a story. Them training at the Monster Factory to main event Raw. So, it was very good main event between these two, and I enjoyed it.
Both former Monster Factory champions as well.
Yes.
Nope. There you go.
What do you
Yeah.
think of Edge doing his 2000th return?
Really? Come on now.
2000th return.
I liked it the first return at the Royal Rumble. After the Royal Rumble, and as it led to that WrestleMania Last Man Standing match, etc., I just lost interest.
I know, yeah. I know.
I'm happy for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Being able to do what he did because he was not able to have a proper send off. His career abruptly ended because of his injury.
It did.
So I'm happy for him that he's able to come back and do this again. 8 years after the fact.
8 years after.
Yeah. So, and that wraps up Raw.
Yeah, Raw was a very good 3 hours. They compete with football, but their numbers still look like they still improving. We talked about SmackDown a little bit earlier. They had 2.3 million people watching. And, also Raw continues to make that climb as well, even against Monday Night Football. But it's a very nice progress with WWE. They on cruise control right now, and they continue to make big news along the week.
AEW Dynamite, Wednesday night. Started off with the Jericho.
Wait, before we talk about Dynamite.
Yeah.
What you thought about this week Dynamite?
It was horrific.
You're not the only one that thought it was horrific.
I absolutely hated it. I was on Twitter this morning. I wasn't on social media after I got home last night. So I didn't see, I missed the whole episode when I got home. So when I finally tuned in this morning, I'm on Twitter and I see people mocking or, talking about certain segments and yada, yada. Mm-hmm. People saying that it's not good. And so I'm turning it on because I want to watch it before we come on here today, obviously. So I know what the hell what I'm actually talking about. I would have shut it off if I did not have to come on here tonight and just said, forget it. Because
I fully understand that.
And if I could be honest, can we be honest and break away from, I know we talk a lot about AEW. We talk a lot about them being very good, and a lot of people don't understand some of the stuff that actually goes on. The last month or so, it's been a fucking train wreck, dude.
Yeah.
And that's besides the fact that some of their top talent is out for obviously acting childlike. It's the
melee.
Because of the melee. It is that there's just, I don't know what is on in Tony Khan's brain. There's just, it's like a car crash watching every week. It's very confusing to watch. There's no real stories going on. I mean, there is, but there isn't. And I will tell you throughout this, when we're talking about this, which stories I actually do like, but there's just so much ridiculousness happening. And obviously, as we were talking earlier, there's probably how many damn tables throughout the entire evening. There's always blood. And can I tell you, I'll just wait until we get to that match to talk about it. Hey, doing a run in here. So
go. She know. I don't even know why she at least she don't know. She know.
It's cool. But yeah, there's a lot going on in AEW. 3 years ago, I thought that it was a very good product. Even last year, I thought it was a very good product. But I think drastically in the last year, it's definitely fallen as far as creativity has gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still tune in each and every Wednesday because there's a lot of great talent that I appreciate to watch.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting attacked by my little dog over here. I'm trying hard. I'm having a whole match over here on the side. But yeah, Dynamite has been on his down slump. I mean, they had Philadelphia. They had 9,000 fans last year in Philadelphia. Yeah, 9,000 in Philly. But now they went down to 5,000. which is a big drop. And plus, Arthur Ashe, you had over 24,000 fans, and then you went down to 15,000. So there's something going on.
It's the booking. For lack of a better comparison, it's better, but it's picture WCW 2000 where everything was just completely off the chain.
Absolutely.
Like it's come unhinged basically.
It's unfortunate. What they like almost 4 years in.
Probably, yeah. 2019 is it when they first? Well, I mean, when they first started their pay per views because they were on pay per view a year prior to the TV starting, right?
Yeah, they're 3 years in. Three
Yeah.
years in, and they're gonna have the ups and downs. All companies have that. But hopefully they bounce back after this melee. I like calling it that. Ever since I heard that, it's a melee. But hopefully it bounced back, and you know, it's all these releases that everybody supposedly need or want is unfortunate because the tables turned in WWE, and everybody knows it's been like that for years that WWE is the end all be all for professional wrestling. That's where the money's at. That's where everything is. That's where you make a living at. You can make a living at AEW, but I guess WWE is the ultra living, the seven figures. So
let's be serious. When you discover professional wrestling as a child, ever since the 1980s, there's 99% chance it was WWE, WWF back then. So that you really becomes anybody that wishes. Now, I'm obviously not a wrestler, but it becomes anybody that's trying to get into the world of professional wrestling. Their ultimate goal is WWE.
yes, it is.
That's the be all end all. That is the holy grail. That is the heaven. That is the ultimate. That's where you can make the most money. It's everything. So
It is.
to a lot of these guys. So to the guys that have made it, congratulations. But it's like, yeah, man, it's I mean, AEW wasn't even a thing back then. So, but yeah, it's the biggest product that there is WWE wise. It's the Coca-Cola, it's the Starbucks, it's the I don't know, name some
The
other
McDonald's,
the McDonald's, exactly.
the Walmart.
Of professional wrestling. So that's where you can make the most money. And so, yeah, man, it's just wild.
It is. It's unfortunate, but this Dynamite was not good.
No, it's
Except
not
for the
the
main
only.
event.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't think I gave my full opinion on the Jericho ROH. Maybe I did. It's over a week ago, so God knows. All right, so let's we'll talk more about that as we get in there. We got the Jericho Appreciation Society walking out to the ring. There's a celebration. What's that? Louis, what's his face? The pizza guy has returned. This
The
guy,
evil pizza guy that has the craziest look on his face while he's sitting here messing with the dough.
this man, I can't believe they keep bringing this guy back. It's funny, but it's
It's hilarious.
yeah. So they made pizza. They got the Jericho Appreciation Society logo on the box. They're gonna celebrate. They're all doing their speeches, yada yada. Talk about Daniel Garcia. Brian Danielson's music hits. He comes out. Obviously, there's a little disagreement between the two. And hang on, my brain's got a brain fart. Garcia wants to wrestle Jericho. It doesn't end up happening.
in a tag match.
Yes.
He's gonna
And
wrestle
Danielson.
Brian Danielson and Dan Garcia. They want to face Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. Obviously, it doesn't happen. It ends up being Danielson versus Matthew Menard. I don't got much to say. I love Brian Danielson. To me, he's like one of my favorites in the last 20 years. He really is.
Yeah. I can see him being a guy that's taking the championship from MJF when he gets it.
Yep. Probably
It would
give
make
it
sense.
what, 8 months, a year, something like
8
that.
months a year, yeah.
Something like that. Because they got to give it to MJF from Oh, from Moxley. We're gonna get into him. Yeah, I keep forgetting he's a champ. See, the title has flip flopped so many times in the last
Yeah.
month. Like, it's hard to keep up. But yeah. Anyways, turns into Danielson to Matthew Menard. This was an okay match for what it was.
Yeah, it was a solid opener. I'm gonna say it here now. I think 2.0 is the future of tag team in AEW. They're real good. They cut promos. Um, they just a good utility players for this roster and for the JAS. So I enjoy this opener. It was solid.
It's supposed to be MJF, but it ends up being Wheeler Yuta to cut a promo. All I gotta say is throw some bass in that voice, Wheeler Yuta. Seriously, I love Wheeler Yuta. I think he's a very good talent. This was not a very good promo, but MJF comes out. Yada yada. They talk shit. All that stuff.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. But the fire's there though.
MJF, as good as he was, could not save this segment.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
he's trying. Nah.
Yeah. Then we went to Juice Robinson is in AEW. Is he apparently he is done with New Japan. He is now a free agent and he's here to wrestle John Moxley tonight. They've obviously feuded before in New Japan over the United States title, the IWGP United States title. I just say that I'm kind of tired of Moxley. He's not delivering lately.
Nah, he's not. He had a very good promo 2 weeks ago after the melee that made a AEW championship be prestigious for the company. And I kind of think all the bleeding and stuff and being that hardcore wrestler that he wants to be, it kind of throws him back a little bit because I know I understand he trying to be different. That's his style, but this is wrestling, and we really don't need you bleeding every week. And I kind of feel like Bryan Danielson should have been the pick, but if they're about having John Moxley be a transitional champion for MJF, I'm down.
About the bleeding, what I have to say here is less is more. You don't have to bleed every single week.
You don't. He bled in this one though. Still.
Yeah. This was not a very good match. I like Juice Robinson. I used to really be into Moxley, but he more so annoys me now.
Yeah, I know.
And that's not in a good way. It's like he's supposed to be the top babyface of the company, I guess, would be the word. And he's just not doing it.
Nah, I know. He's not doing it for a lot of people. I hear a lot of issues with John Moxley being the champion, being the head guy. But Tony Khan is in a rut right now, and he depends on him right now.
And I think that the reason why they didn't put it on Danielson, I think that you and I were talking about this last week, is they'd rather not have MJF take it off of Danielson and then have Danielson come in and take it off of MJF. So have MJF defeat Moxley.
Exactly. And I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Yeah. I was pulling for Danielson for that, but then, once you look at it that way, it makes more sense. So the women's segment. Holy shit, this was bad, dude. Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it was just more so annoying. And this isn't us picking on AEW and being WWE fanboys, because obviously we've talked so much shit about WWE in the past. It's not that. It's just that this was just a very poorly booked show. It really was. This woman's segment, I loved all the talent that was in that ring. It's just this entire segment was just pure garbage. Turned into Toni Storm and Serena Deeb, which had potential to be a fantastic match. It really, really did. These are two of the greatest women in the sport today, especially Serena Deeb. Toni Storm could be very marketable if booked properly.
Yeah.
This just did not do shit for me at all.
Yeah, it was a match I really was looking forward to until it got turned into a lumberjack match. The promo before that was Saraya. It really was not working. I understand she went on Twitter to say that she was a little rusty and it didn't work out, but I understand that. But this segment went off the rails. It was really crazy, and then it messed up the match as well.
regarding Paige, aka Soraya, whatever the hell you want to call her. I don't care either way that she came into AEW.
Oh, you the first. There's been
Really?
rave reviews about her being back.
She literally has not done shit other than cut 2 promos.
You're right.
And she told the cameraman, well, she goes, "No, we're not going anywhere. I'm going to continue talking." I don't know if
And
that
then
was
she
a
went to the
shoot.
next. Then she went to the next segment.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a shoot or part of the segment, but I was like, wow, it's like this, like she's an asshole. So
Yeah,
it's like,
and then after that, she invites all the women's division out there. And what's so funny about it? When the first crop of women come out, I'm like, this can't be it. There's more women,
yes,
and only them,
they weren't
only
all there.
they came out.
I'm sure we've known for many years that there's plenty of talent that are shown up each and every week, even if they're not used for dark or elevation or any of that shit dark matches. That's just the way it works. Most of them sitting catering just in case.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see. We had Ricky Starks and Eli. How'd you say that? Eason?
I think he's yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Eh.
This was nothing.
Nah, it wasn't. It was a good squash for Ricky Starks.
Yes. Let's see. And then we had Chris Jericho and Bandito.
This was the shining light, the diamond in the rough of the show.
We waited almost, an hour and a half to
Yes.
watch this. An hour and a half of garbage to watch the only pretty good match on the show. I'm not even going to rank this like high up there, but it was very good.
It was very good.
Bandito is great. Jericho, obviously he has the ROH title because they're trying to sell the TV show to a network. Makes sense.
It does make sense. And Jericho, I applaud him for his performance of this main event. He really, at the age that he is, he really performed top notch in this match. He really made Bandito look good. That's how a worker work.
Not only that, it's that his character as the ROH champ, it's the Ring of Jericho.
Yeah.
How they keep selling that and how he's going to change the company or he's going to make it look different and yada yada. I'm digging it. I'm digging that heel thing that he's going to change Ring of Honor, etc. Make it, a sports entertainment company, because it was actually during the sports entertainment era, it was probably one of the only pure wrestling companies out there.
Yeah, it was. It was Ring of Honor. Shake hands in the middle of the ring before you perform in that ring. So yeah, it was a pure wrestling product.
Yeah. So yeah, and he claims to be the savior of Ring of Honor. So I'm digging the heel as the Ring of Honor champion. I didn't like it at first because I was, God, why do they need to put this on him? Look at it the way that I just said about him trying to sell a network and him trying to save it, etc., etc. I think it works, and I think that down the road that he might lose that to Danielson as well.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I don't. Some people say he may lose to Daniel Garcia. I don't think Daniel Garcia is ready yet.
I don't think
him up first.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for that title and the history that it has. Maybe once they get a television contract, maybe, but
maybe
not right now.
Yeah.
All right, so that was AEW Dynamite and Monday Night Raw and Smackdown and Rampage. Is there anything else you would like to throw out there today, Marcel?
Nah, we gonna come back for another week of professional wrestling. We gonna continue to watch every product possible to give our thoughts and reviews and news come out from Sean Ron Sapp on Fightful or Dave Meltzer on Pro Wrestling Observer. We'll definitely give our opinions about it. And looking forward to next week.
If there's anything else that pops up within before then, we'll be back. So have a great night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.